Hey everybody, welcome to Behind the Mirror. I'm your host, Keith Posehn, CEO at Zors, and I am joined here today by Liem, Vuong, our head of operations, and Ashley, one of our senior consultants on Creator and Affiliate. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey Keith, hey Ashley,
Hey.
Good to see you again.
Oh,
Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody.
Friday.
It's time. I mean, we record on Friday, even though it's technically Happy Tuesday for everyone listening. Happy Friday for us. We were talking earlier, we had some interesting stuff come up around like full funnel. I mean, how people look at affiliate and a lot of partnerships as bottom of funnel when it totally isn't. So you both had a lot to say here, which I think is really critical. So where do y'all want to start?
I wanted to start with some feedback or some learnings that we had with a client recently where they talked to us about only wanting to use affiliate marketing for bottom of funnel tactics or last click, last touch at the very end of a customer's journey.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of misperceptions about like why companies and brands want to pursue this strategy. And I wanted to brainstorm with you both as to sort of the pros and cons of doing just that, but also considerations on how do we move up funnel and be more than just a last click, capture the last actions of a customer as they transact. What do you guys think? Is that a meaty enough topic to kind of dive into, or
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we hear it a lot in the affiliate world, right? That affiliate is sort of a last click channel, and people think it's not really valuable in the product discovery or trust and awareness, or even the consideration phases of a buyer's journey. And unfortunately, what that really does is it sort of devalues the affiliate channel and the affiliate program in the eyes of a brand or in the industry in general. And there are so many great partners that will work with you on a CPA basis or on a hybrid model that you can really engage with within your affiliate program and lower your CACs overall and improve your brand's ads efficiency. So it's definitely worth looking for it with various brands. And right now, especially, right, time is money and money is sparse for lots of people. So efficiency is top of mind. So
Yeah.
definitely.
I think you're right. And it's the notion that I think a lot of companies like look at affiliate and other channels too as demand. They look at purely as a demand capture play, not a demand creation play. And I think that really sells a lot of stuff short because, even like looking at Facebook as demand capture is a really bad idea because it is totally demand creation play. That it has great tools for figuring out how you're creating demand and where and how that's going to be effective. But at the same time, it really sells the channel short, especially in affiliate and partnerships, to think of it as just demand capture because, I mean, let's look at some of these partners like Points Guy, Acorns, others. They're out there driving like awareness, couponology, for goodness sake. They're out there really changing things. If that's not demand creation, then what is?
Yeah. Well, and even thinking like outside of your traditional affiliate spectrum, right? Like lots of people think that affiliate marketing is its own specialized industry or like secret club. And really what I want to do for people is change the way that people think about it, and that affiliate and performance marketing it's a switch you can flip, right? When you look at how you're budgeting and spending for your various advertising and your branding. And that there are like mass media, right? So we think about like our Dotdash Meredith, our Hearst publications are like, Forbes of the world with
Wirecutter.
hundreds of
Yeah.
millions of views and of subscribers. And we have great success with them in the affiliate programs. And on the creator side of things, right, you can work with creators from 50 followers if you're looking for more like word of mouth style content creation or UGC, all the way up to partners with millions of followers with reach around the world. So there's opportunities everywhere. And we really just have to start looking at the affiliate program and at performance marketing and advertising in general as sort of a just a tool in our belt versus, it fits in this box and that fits in this box and social goes here. And this is where all these things help the brand. It's really a whole like team of channels and of revenue sources that work together in tandem.
Affiliate marketing can be a catch-all of all types of partnerships that you want within your program. So it's a portfolio, right?
Yeah.
And I love that concept because anything outside of like Meta, TikTok, LinkedIn, Google, like all your search efforts, outside of those, you can run almost everything else within affiliate marketing and within a platform for all this type of tracking. So when I think of like last click affiliate marketing, and even some genres like coupon and loyalty, cashback, like they're going to drive, I think, like, well, we've seen it, a very high ROAS, right?
Yes.
So that's fantastic, right? So for a portfolio, you've got a return that is up here, right? And then if you want to go up funnel and try and test out other things, up funnel, I mean like you want to do demand capture, like what I'd love to hear from you, Ashley. What are your thoughts around like the types of partnerships that you can that can do demand capture? What kind of ROAS can we expect with these? And like, let's start there first, and then let's see.
I mean, so I mean, the first caveat here being that typically in a healthy affiliate program, your ROAS is quite a bit higher than most other channels for your brand. So there's lots of wiggle room to play with, even if you're working with a partner higher up in the funnel who doesn't have like a 10, 20x ROAS. You'll still probably see a better return on investment than you would for like paid social or for SEO. So there's lots of sort of wiggle room to meet in the middle and to still have a healthy CAC. And within that, there's, I would say, like, if you're looking at a mass media partner per se, or like there are affiliates that will work on ads, right? So they'll do your Google and your Facebook advertising for you, and then you can pay them on a PPC or a CPA basis. So you can hit really like any channel that you would like to hit with this program and test out what works for you. I would say it will vary a little bit brand to brand, right? Which channels are successful and which are not based on where your audience is and who you're speaking to. But even if you're looking at a higher funnel test, you'll still likely see a ROAS that's similar to your like paid social or your paid ads. So there's still quite a bit of opportunity and wiggle room to test those different channels and the different categories and the different industries that work for you within that partnership sphere. And also remembering that unlike with Google and Facebook ads, you're paying usually 1 to 2 months post and based on performance, right? So you're not just spitting out, here's my $500 budget for the day, or my $1,000 budget for the day for my Facebook ads. And then that just goes away sort of regardless of any blowback on performance or any actual revenue on the flip side, right? It's all sort of click-based and view-based there. So it's not actually around who clicks that ad and who buys my product. It's just how many eyes have seen it. So not only are you hitting a higher potential ROAS and more efficient ad spend in general, but you're paying for it usually 1 to 2 months after you're making that money. So from a cash flow perspective, that's like, for businesses, cash is king. So
yeah, I think we're seeing it especially right now in the macro environment where, there's more and more concern and hesitancy, especially with the effects of tariffs shaking out. Because, we're recording this, June 27th in 2025, and a lot is happening. Like it just, the economy in the US shrank last quarter. We saw that. So down 0.5 point. So maybe we're headed for a recession. Maybe, indeed very likely are. And so a lot of these things are major factors weighing on our clients and on businesses. And so it's, again, I think that creates a tendency maybe to overcompensate into high ROAS things that tend to be more demand capture, don't really grow the business. So we see that reaction for one. But I think there's two things I want to get your take on this, Ashley, because we look at some of the partners we work with, like Rakuten, for example. Rakuten often is looked as like a demand capture. Okay, it's loyalty, etc., super high ROAS, etc., really like manage into that. But they have other tools to access their audience in ways you can't access. So things like, email and to be able to conquest and to get the word out across their platform. So in ways that actually can be used to create demand. That's one. But I think that you also mentioned like video and views and these things too. I mean, we see a lot of creators inside of affiliate. We see creator programs and influencers in this. That's so much demand creation too, but I think it's often not really looked at in that way or not really recognized as that. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think we sort of have in the content creation and influencer space two worlds colliding right now, right? So previously, influencers were very much a flat rate, pay-per-play basis, right? You want to post, it'll cost you $1,000 or $10,000 or whatever that is, depending on the influencer. And then what happened as affiliate programs started to get more successful and people understood how that worked more is influencers started to say, well, hang on now, like I like having my flat rate because yes, I'm putting work into the front end of this, into the content creation and putting this out there on my channel. But I also wouldn't mind a kickback on the performance side of things as well, right? If this goes viral and sells X of your product, I would like to see a percentage of that revenue as well. So we're starting to see more and more creators and influencers opting for that sort of hybrid model, where you can get a little bit more efficient on that flat rate in lieu of a commission coming down on the back end of that. So I've seen it work really well in the influencer space for sure. There's also the other side of that where the content that you receive does not have to be just siloed into that influencer's channel, right? You can whitelist, you can boost, you can actually generate the rights or get the rights from the creator for that raw video or images, whatever it happens to be. And then you can reuse it for your own marketing purposes. And I have seen that work fantastically at events or on websites or in advertising, right? We see it work really well where we have creators send us their videos and then we splice them together and then we send them out as ads across our social channels. So it can really improve the efficiency of sort of all of your content and advertising channels at the same time. So it's sort of it's a fun game we play, right? And we've got our data and our tracking from the affiliate platform side of things. And then there's that sort of unspoken benefits of, okay, we've created this content for you without having to hire a studio and actors and editing crew for the day. And now we're using it in our advertising, which is generating X more revenue than the like standard stock photos or video that we were using before. So there's sort of a cascading waterfall effect of what a healthy affiliate and performance program can do for you, for sure.
And you get the authenticity. As well.
People actually using your product and loving it and talking about it for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, like we talked about in other episodes, our philosophy here is that, partnerships is all about leveraging the trust that, a partner has with their audience to build trust in your brand. And so it's one of the things that Creator works so well is if you've got and do it right and you have good product and you go about it the right way, it builds trust in your brand too, that it's deserved. Because you're making a good product, you're showing it, you're not trying to control their narrative, you're trying to let people show the genuine, nature of the product or the value that you have. I think that's really a powerful concept. Oh man, there was something I was going to say too, because on this thread, so the hybrid approach, like to your point, Ashley, I think we've seen this with clients and others too, Blair. I think for creators that are listening, if we've got creators listening at this point, you should hear this. Hybrid approach is worth it because instead of a single fixed fee, it's a long tail of revenue. So that first 30 days might be lower than you want, but then your video, it keeps going for months. It's still up there. It's still earning. It's still profiting for you. So it can become a good revenue stream. I think that I found creators that take that hybrid approach tend to do far better from a revenue perspective because sure, cover your costs up front, but then make a nice, big, long tail of revenue off of good content because that content will continue to be viewed. And this is also for brands like a growing channel. I want to get your take here, Ashley, is like looking at those growing channels as like a better target because you want to capture their growth. And your video, when they have 10,000 subscribers, is going to keep getting views, lots of them when they hit 100,000 or a million, right?
Yeah. Yes, and especially if they like if they put it in their highlights, right, with the
Hmm.
like your Instagrams of the
Oh.
world, that it just never goes away then. But
Hmm.
then you can capture that. What we typically find with influencers, right, is that like the authenticity before they get really huge and they start doing lots of ads. So their audience is still extremely engaged. We have seen
Hmm.
partners generate commission for years after their videos come out, and it, as we know, sort of continues to work in the partner's favor the more that they're talking about the product and they're being consistent with it, because people like to buy products from people and they like to know that that person that they're buying from is truly using that product, and it's a part of their day and their life and what they like about it. So if you can capture that in your content, then that's what'll sell your product for you. You can talk till you're blue in the face to
Hmm.
customers yourselves, but
Yeah.
they'll listen to other people before they'll listen to you. That's the frustrating part of, of the
Yeah.
world, for
Yeah,
sure.
there's the old phrase "show, don't tell." Well, let others show instead of you doing the
Exactly.
telling. I think that holds so much more power.
Yeah, 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 definitely. It can be a huge driver for creators for sure, and for
Hmm.
the brands themselves, right? It's like I said, you don't have to hire a studio, you don't have to book a film crew for the day and editing, and that can run into the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So
Hmm.
that's a lot to stomach up front before
Yeah.
you even started
And
making any money.
most brands aren't willing to
Ready?
do
Yeah.
that as
Yep.
well. And I think this is a sort of a nice segue into, like, for brands and advertisers out there. Like, we're talking about all the success stories, successes that you can have with
Mhm.
creators, brand ambassadors, and influencers, but it's probably not going to happen on your first swing. It's not
Yes.
going to happen like with your very first campaign.
Yeah.
And we always tell our clients and the folks that we talk to that this is a muscle that you need to build, a muscle of testing, a muscle of trying out some campaigns at a couple $1,000s and seeing what the results are, seeing if it has legs, and then optimizing your approach, your operations, how you do payouts, and then and then the expectation that you learn and you get better over time.
Yeah.
I think, Ashley, you and I have seen with some of our clients and some other places that we've worked, these creators and influencer campaigns can have a lower ROAS than what you'd see
Mhm.
with demand capture type of affiliates. Um, but it doesn't always have to be the case. You have to test into it. So I want to kind of hear your thoughts, Ashley, on that's like sort of that progression. Like, what does round one look like? What does round two look like?
Yeah, I would say honestly that has been the thing that I have seen, where I have seen most brands fail with this, is they have a sort of like throw spaghetti at the wall
Mhm.
mentality about like, okay, let's try this, and then like, oh, that didn't work, okay, let's try like this thing over here. You really have to sit down at the beginning of your journey into to creators and get smart about who you're talking to, right? Who is our customer, and then by that, who are we using as a
Hmm.
creator or an influencer to get to that audience, and then what are you saying. um, the world of anybody putting out a video talking about a product and it going viral and hitting and selling tens of thousands of things is gone. There are too many
Yeah.
influencers in the world. You really have to stand out with your content. It's not like get ready with me or like outfit of the day. Like that's just nobody's going to see it. We'll scroll past.
Hmm.
So you have to get smart about what you're saying and what is the story behind your product. What are you trying to sell? And then you're right. You enter into that testing phase where you say, okay, here's the people we're trying to reach. Here's how we think we can get to them. And then strategically, let's test this thing. Let's test this thing. Let's test this thing. And then you have to compare them all against each other, right? How did this perform versus this? And then you have the information that you need for your next level of testing. Um, what I like to say to people is because I come from a weightlifting fitness and weightlifting background, is you can't pick up your first weight in the gym and expect to win Olympia tomorrow. You know what I mean? You've got to put in that work and, like you said, flex that muscle and see what works for you and your brand and your story and your product and your audience. And once you do, right? Like once you have developed that formula for you, this is what works for us, you can crush it easily. Then you can scale easily. You can hit everywhere, right? That's the playbook we have used for some of the brands, the biggest brands in the world that everybody knows, that sort of popped out of nowhere. So if you've ever been wondering, those brands that pop out of nowhere and then everybody's talking about them, that's what has happened. Is somebody has strategically thought about like, okay, who are we talking to? What do we need to say? And then they've gone through that process and that testing and that iteration and nailing that message and who they're talking to. And then they push that out at scale.
It can't be one and done.
No,
like, just like
definitely.
any other channel. Like, why would you ever approach Meta or TikTok as a one and done? You throw $10,000, $15,000 into it.
Okay, that didn't work. Never mind.
And that didn't work, and you just move on. Like it just can't be that way, right?
Yeah, you've gotta be strategic about it, and I would say like more than with your Facebooks and your Googles of the world is it's a trust building exercise. It's a relationship, so it takes that little bit of thought and that little bit of time to put up. It's not just throw a thing out and we'll have 5 different ad iterations tomorrow, and we'll see in 5 days after that which one people are liking.
So, I mean, to your point, yes, it's a trust building exercise. It's building trust is the key, and trust does not come instantaneously. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes staying power. Like we've talked about this in previous episodes. You got to stick with it, because who would go into something strategic and bow out of it at the first sign of like difficulty? That's not how businesses are made. And so it's a really, really good point, Ashley. I think it's, what we've seen, the ones who succeed at this are the ones who stick with it. And they look for the partners who can access the audience they want in a way that they fundamentally are unable to as a brand. Yeah. Who can get your brand to the people that you want in a way that you are unable to? That's really key. And when that happens, that's a really powerful combination because it creates a competitive advantage. It's like we saw like Skillshare did so well. So did NordVPN, in terms of like VPN, like grab the market for VPN by just being out there with creators. And everybody knows NordVPN now. Now we're kind of used to it. We're like, yes, NordVPN, we know who you are. But they got out there and they created such an unbeatable brand by leveraging other brands to build their brand. Like that's a powerful tool.
Yeah. You've got to borrow that trust for sure, right? Especially if you're new and you're a startup and you don't have it and you don't have Google money to buy it. You don't have your $2 million of funding to purchase trust. You've got to borrow it, and partners are the best source of borrowing trust that you can find because you borrow it on performance.
Yeah, that's a powerful one. Well, thank you, Ashley. This has been great. I think really, really interesting, set of information here for our listeners. It's, again, like you got to stick with it. We can't look at these channels as bottom of funnel. They have so much more impact. But then to your point about how leveraging creators and influencers to build our brands, I think that's the other key part. And we got to stick with it. It just like we see that every time when we find failure in the market, it's because they didn't stay. They did not keep going. But the ones who stuck with it, kept going, are the ones that succeed. And I think that's the lesson. We just keep learning our clients keep learning over and over again. We help them like stay, keep going. And then, oh, look at that. It's working.
Or pick the winners. Every iteration that you do, pick the winners.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's business in general, right? Like that's what they say about like, most businesses fail in 3 years, I think it is. And that's because the ones that didn't fail just didn't give up. They just kept getting back up every time they got knocked back down. All right, that didn't work. Let's try this now. Exactly.
Indeed. Well, Ashley, thank you so much. Great to have you on the show. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Again, I'm Keith Posehn, CEO of Zorz. That's Z-O-R-Z. We are a strategic marketing consulting group focused on customer referral programs, marketing AI, affiliate, and creator. And we're going to be back again next week with more lovely topics. Have a great weekend, everybody.